What's happening, people? Dan and Scott here on our way home from Oxford 4, West Ham United 0. This is a post-match drive, which plays a post-match pint on the away games. As I said many times to a lot of people I interviewed tonight, mate, absolutely embarrassing.
All I can say is it's quite lucky we're filming this, and then 2 hours after the game finished.
Yeah, I've been at a service.
I've calmed down quite a bit. You're right. It's an absolute joke. You know, it's 4-0 in the second half against the League One side. Do you know what I mean? It's not. It's fucking ridiculous, mate. Absolutely ridiculous.
Mate, fucking 4-0, clean sheet in 4 games without conceding a goal. All of a sudden, we face Oxford United in League 4, like you said, in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not good enough, mate.
No, exactly. The players, you know. I said in the preview, I understand why we're making changes, but this competition is probably the easiest competition for a Premier League side to go on a win because of the time that it finishes in the season and the fact that you're playing, when you come up against the bigger sides, they've got Champions League football still to worry about, you know, and things like that. And to make the amount of changes that he made, yeah, I understand it from a footballing perspective and he wanted to rest players, but the players that were there, they should be embarrassed with themselves. You know, Nathan Holland looked the brightest spark and he didn't have the best of games.
No, do you know, I think Nathan Holland, he started very sloppy, he sort of gave the ball away and he started growing into the game, but then he got hooked off, like, as he did start to warm into the game.
And then who did he get hooked off for?
Alea.
Right, so we go 2 up top. We haven't played 2 up top all season.
No.
You know, and then we take Wilshere off, centre midfielder, to bring on Anderson, a winger, and then push Snodgrass centre midfield.
Yeah,
and then bring
weird.
Noble on to play centre midfield. Why not make the change, Noble for Wilshere, Anderson for Snodgrass?
Yeah.
Why square peg round our wit with Snodgrass?
Yeah, that didn't make sense because Snodgrass wasn't having a great game at all. I mean, look, let's be honest, hardly anyone had a great game. But,
no one covered himself in glory.
You know,
I think Roberto pulled off some good saves tonight.
Yeah.
That one, I think it was 1-0 down. He got across to.
He sort of dived across the goal. But it was our Sanchez made 90 minutes. I mean, he was.
As I said, mate, I don't think you could sit there and warrant a case for anyone starting in the first team out of them players that played tonight.
No.
You know, it was just absolutely shocking. The whole game.
This is the thing, right? Like, look, you look at that squad, that team should be easily good enough to beat Oxford. But do you think it's a case of, like, when you make just that many changes? Like, obviously, look, it's tough when you got a squad. You want to try and keep everyone happy, and you got to give people a chance. But, like, look, maybe 3-4 changes, but 9 changes.
The thing is, we done it against Newport. And we got away with it. We got a good, decent performance, decent result. I just think, looking back at today's game, going into this time of the season, teams are now up and running. You know, Oxford, they've hit a bit of form of late. Unbeaten in their last 3. We're unbeaten in the last 4 now. 3 clean sheets after tonight, back to back.
Yeah.
Their players are playing week in, week out. They've got match fitness. They've got match sharpness. We've gone into that game. Now, Newport was early in the season, second or third, I think 3rd game into the season, 4th game into the season. Yeah. So you can sort of get away with playing players that haven't had a lot of match time. Barring Diop, how many minutes has that team had overall? You know, Ajetti's had 90 minutes against Newport. Yeah. That's it. Playing as a lone striker. He's not a lone striker. We can see that after tonight. He needs a partner with him. You know, Wilshere's not allowed to go to him.
Holland's first game, wasn't it, this season, first team?
Yeah, but it's like I said to you and Mike, we would have been better off tonight playing the under-23s against Oxford because the under-23s are played week in, week out, they're playing games, they're playing League 1, League 2 opposition in the whatever trophy it's called. Yeah. We would have been better playing them tonight than sticking the amount of players we stuck out there who are not getting no game time. You know, I don't get the setup around it. If he knew he was going to make that many changes going into this into this game tonight, why are them players not playing a behind the closed doors friendly? You know, we don't have reserve team football, so the players are just sitting there doing fuck all.
See, that's the thing. I don't know how he does it in training, whether he does like 11 and 11 in training or what he does. But there's got to be a way to keep them players match. And that's what I'm saying. When you can bring in like 3 players who don't get regular football, and the other players can sort of help carry the weight and bring them up to speed. But like you said, that many players and they're just this disjointedness. I saw so many misplaced passes, sloppy passes.
Sanchez's first 2 long passes went off the pitch. I think they both went off the pitch for a goal kick.
Fucking Ajetti's shot nearly went out, nearly on Zaza. It just hit the corner flag. I couldn't believe it.
And that's it. I'm not making excuses for the players, but no match practice.
Yeah.
You know, they're professional football players. The amount of money they're being paid, the levels they should be at, they shouldn't be. Look, don't get me wrong. Oxford played really well. Second half, they absolutely battered us, and you know, the scoreline didn't really flatter them in the end. It was the right scoreline.
We were looked hungry. They looked the hungrier team. They looked like they wanted.
They looked more interested than we did. We just looked like we were going out there for a stroll around the park.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because look at this. So many times, right? Loads of players. We get the ball and we're static. We're looking for the pass. And before we know it, we've got a bloody Oxford player clattering into us, taking the ball. You know, I saw Wilshere do it. I see Sanchez do it. You know, I saw. We just dwelled on the ball too much. You saw with 4-0 tonight. You know, the guy, he's a young player who's just coming into the Premier League, but you don't get that much time on the ball. No.
You know, and again tonight, you see, he thinks I'm sure when he threw in the first half, when he almost threw sort of like 1-on-1 or 2, or you know, he was, and he took so long to get to the ball. He's let the defender come around and cover.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, look, it's not saying much, but I did think he was one of our best players. Like, if you was going to look at performance, right, from top to bottom, I thought he got stuck in some defensive duties, kept the ball, and a lot of the attack was sort of going through him.
Yeah.
However, like you said, what you've pointed out is completely spot on. And like a lot of people, and I mean, I saw it against Man United. He had, you know, that's his weakness.
Yeah, he just dwells on the ball.
Yeah, and I think that's being used
and the thing is,
Spanish league.
In the second half, when we did move him out onto the wing, we never put the ball out there. We went down the left to Anderson all the time when he come on.
Yeah.
You know, he's made the space. He's pulling out wide, and we're just going left. Let's just go to Anderson. Just go to Anderson. Where all the players are. You know,
it's crazy because, like, look, like, obviously, the order of the subs, right, and the players he took off, you know, I didn't necessarily agree with, but the actual players he brought on, I was calling for Noble, I was calling for Anderson, and who was the other player he brought on? Haller, yeah, like all of them players, but none of them actually had a positive impact on the game.
And this is the thing, you're relying on 3 of your better players to come on and bow 11 other professional Premier League football players out of trouble.
Well, look, it happened, you know, but in the Carabao Cup last season, Wimbledon, we needed Anderson to come off the pitch.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, if you look back at the Newport game, maybe if Antonio hadn't got injured, would we have got that result? You know, was that just a case of, you know, Wilshere got a bit lucky with his goal in that game, and you know, we just had something to defend? It's just the result tonight has just really pissed me off in the sense that I said I'm a lot more calmer now than we was when we were walking back from the game and when we were filming fan cams. And you know, the nature of the result as well. If you're going to get beat by a lower league opposition, get beat 1-0. You know, they've played well, they've done us. You know, it's a good result. We were laughing at Tottenham.
Yeah.
Tottenham went out on penalties.
Yeah.
They had 75% possession. Yeah, they done fuck all with it, but they went out on penalties.
That's why
we just got spanked 4-0.
Yeah. That's why I was very fucking quiet after that. But I was like, listen, I'm waiting to see how we do because, you know what I mean? That lad, all of the West Ham fans that have tweeted that, posted right about the Spurs and tweeted Spurs, are now fucking wide open for double the
payback, isn't it?
That is even worse because. Right, they've lost on penalties. We've got beat 4-0 to a League One side. Yeah. That's like, think about it. Like, look, we got battered against Man City 5-0 at the start of the season. You know, that was humiliating enough.
Yep.
Fucking
Oxford just put 4 past us.
United just put 4 past us. It's so hard to explain.
But you know, the guys behind us, weren't it, said to us, well, we weren't even after the game. I think was it 2-0?
It was a 3-0.
3-0. He turned around and said to us, you know, he's been a West Ham fan for 60 odd years. He said no matter how well we're playing, this happens. He said, what was it? He said that we had a team with Moore, Hurst, Peters and all that, and we went out to a lower league team there. Yeah. But how long can we keep saying it's just West Ham?
It's the West Ham way. It's the West Ham way. I don't accept. Yeah.
You know,
I don't like you said. You know, all of our players there plus 50 grand plus a week.
Yeah.
Losing to that.
Yep.
Yeah. You know,
losing to the better team.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not to take anything away,
exactly.
But look, we should be beaten. We're 2 leagues above them. Like you said, they're paid well above what they're paid. Premier League players.
Yep.
With all the training and the world class, top class manager that we've got.
Premier League winning manager.
Premier League winning manager.
It's just that, as I said, I don't know whether. I think Mike said it earlier. He turned around and said whether the players are told not to take this cup seriously, whether the Premier League is the be all and end all for the board and for what the manager wants.
But then if they're told not to take it seriously, like I said, just fucking put the kids out.
I'd rather play the kids. I'd rather know what we're walking into. I'd rather know travelling here today that we are going to be playing 10 under 23 players.
Yeah.
You know, and or 9 under 23 and a couple of like fringe players. I'd rather see that, because at least them under 23 players are going to give it a go. But then I say that we did the same thing. Sam Allardyce did the same thing with Forest, and we got spanked. But yeah, he played the under 23s, but he used a formation and a system that them kids had never played for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The under 23s are playing a system similar to what the first team play. So they're playing regularly. They're playing in whatever cup it's called against lower league opposition. If the reserve 11 is going to play like that, fuck them off and play the under 23s.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's just pathetic.
I mean, look, we've had Arthur come back, Masuaku's come back. Now, to me, that tells me that he's playing Creswell on Saturday.
Yeah.
Starting Creswell.
I'm with you.
Based on, I mean, look, he looked good in spells, but that third goal,
he was unfortunate. He slipped over.
Look, it can happen.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, that happens anywhere else on the pitch. Further up their end, he slips over. There's a player behind him. It was just the fact that I think we had a free kick or a corner. They've broke. He's gone to get to. He was always going to get to the ball, and he falls over. Yeah. He slips over.
And that was it. It was just always going to be.
It's probably down to the football boots they have nowadays, but
yeah, I mean, I think it's as well. The geezers run at him, and just the way that he's running backwards and the way he's moving his body,
he's just slipped.
It didn't look good. It was, as soon as that happened, I was like, here we go. Here we fucking go.
Listen, Steven Gerrard cost Liverpool a title by falling over.
Yeah.
So, it happens in football. It's one of them things, but it was just unfortunate. But again, another set piece that, to be fair, we've not been bad at set pieces this year, and they ain't come from it, and they broke and scored.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it was our own corner, and we was poor on corner. We weren't winning anything here. No. We weren't winning anything. We didn't have much height before Allaire come on, but even still, like, it just wasn't. Exactly. I see it was that one bloody header Zabba one that just went completely.
It's like a 50p, weren't it?
Yeah.
But that's it. We just lacked height. We just lacked everything today. It just looked like they weren't interested. I honestly think that they just was not bothered tonight.
But all these West Ham fans have come down, thousands of West Ham fans singing good spirits, everything. They've got to give more. And this is the thing, like, when Diop came out and said every game, is like a cup final, did he just mean the league games? Or was it all just lip service?
Well, I'd be worried if we turned up like that was a cup final tonight.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I'd be like fucking, was it Watford in the FA Cup final last year, wasn't it, when they got battered by
it's just so frustrating, because we've been in a good run of form, and as I said, I understand why they're resting players. It pisses me off that they do it, because I want to take the cup seriously. We should play a majority of the first team and bring in a couple of fringe players, and then maybe as the game goes on, take off the first team players and bring a couple more fringe players on. See, how it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, we don't learn our lessons from years. I can't even say that because I've seen us put a first team out and still get beat by a lower league side. But we haven't learned the lesson from last season when we lost to Wimbledon.
Yeah.
That's the thing for me. We're meant to be learning and moving forward. And now, you know, we've rested winning players. If we don't go and get a result against Bournemouth, we've lost that game. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And then you could argue that that's fucking, like I said, derailed us, and it's put us in. It's put a negative spin on everything.
Yeah. And when it Bournemouth we played last season after we lost to Wimbledon. Is that right? Is that right, Mike? Yeah.
Sure,
yeah. So we rested players, lost to AFC Wimbledon, went to Bournemouth, didn't get a result.
We need a response there. Sorry, we are now late. We really do need a response.
midnight.
I mean, so what's your opinion on the Jetty? Because I've heard a lot of opinions. Like, a lot of people are sort of writing him off. A lot of people are saying too soon. What's your opinion on him? You think he's just straight and not good enough? What do you think?
I said to you, he's not a lone striker.
Yeah.
Right. So again, like with Hernandez didn't thrive playing a lone striker. The guy's played 90 minutes of football this season.
Yeah.
90 minutes of football.
Don't even think he had a pre-season with us, did he?
I don't think he did. You know, don't get me wrong, he may have had a run out for the under-23s. I don't know because I've not watched the under-23s that closely. Right? But if he hasn't, he's had 90 minutes of first team football, and you're putting him in another game against a tough. When you're trying to adjust to the English game, lower league, they're tough defenders.
Yeah.
You know, they're not easy to defend to attack. You know, they're solid. They're going to be big. They're going to be strong. They're going to be physical. And you're putting him up, 6 foot centre halves up against 5 foot, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you're not giving him much of a chance.
And the thing is with him, like, I think it's going to take him time. You know, he's coming from the Swiss league.
Yep.
But look, this is the worry, right? Look, if Allaire, touch wood, whatever, gets injured, we're fucked. Because he's all we have. And this goes back and begs the question, goes back to why on earth did we sell Hernandez?
Yep.
Why? Like, look, I know we wanted to get the money off the wage bill. We wanted to get some money into him because he would have gone for a free. But here's the thing: if we wanted to actually attack the cups and that, we can't have that little depth up front.
And the thing is like when you look at it from getting him off the wage bill and a business side of it, yeah, I get why they did it in the business sense. But surely, and as you said, touch wood, it doesn't happen. If we lose Hilaire for a few games, surely we'll lose that amount of money in the position that we're going to finish in the Premier League by just having one striker.
Yeah.
You know, I could be wrong. People may say I'm talking nonsense, but at the end of the day, that is the worry that we've got. We've got the way we play. Hilaire is the focal point of our attack. We lose him, there's nothing to back him up.
Yeah.
You know, and that then also leads into his mind. I don't think he's that type of player, but could lead into his mind that I've got no competition. If I have a bad game, it don't really matter.
Yeah.
And that leads to complacency.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I don't think he's that type of player. From what I've seen of him, he looks that type of player who wants to play, he wants to achieve things, he wants to give his all. But
sometimes you get to that point where you're playing loading, and sometimes you just need that over your shoulder where you know, even if no one's in their mind going up and take it easy, but sometimes it just happens.
The thing is, you've only got to look at Noble. Noble's performances, he was out of the side. Since he's got back in the side, he's given everything.
Yeah. And this is the thing as well, when you look, once we start getting to December, where the games come thick and fast, that's the worry, because Allaire's going to be playing a lot of football. We're not relying on him.
Yep. And that is exactly it. You get to around the Boxing Day fixtures where you're playing the space of, 5 games in the space of 2 weeks, something like that. You're expecting him to play all 5 games.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to adjust your system. You're praying that Antonio's back and fit by then so he can play as a makeshift striker.
And this is the thing, some people will go out and say, well, look, we're waiting until January, we're going to replace him in January. But that's a risk, because for one, if people know you're desperate for a player, you pay extra.
Yep.
They add the tax anyway. It's not easy to sign players in January, especially strikers. It's not easy to sign strikers in the summer.
No, nobody wants to sell their best players in January.
That's the problem. And here's the thing as well, when you think about it as well, not only do we only have 2 strikers, we have no Premier League experienced strikers. This is Alaire's first season in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And this is Ajeti's first season.
Yeah.
As much as I think Alaire's built for the Premier League, still, it's new territory.
Yeah, of course it is.
You know,
but it's just today's result. Not so much it's the performance. It's just such a downer after the run we've had, the victory on Sunday.
That's what pissed me off. Is it's so close, like 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get enough time to really enjoy the Man United win and the run we've been on, and this is just doused fucking cold water on the Flames.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's
they couldn't have kept that momentum, that good feeling. People go, right, let's do it, you know.
As I said, how long we went 4 games without conceding a goal, and we let in 4 in 45 minutes.
It's such a worry that we ain't learned our lesson from last season.
No, that is exactly it. That's the thing. We want to see progression. You know, we've seen West Ham get beat by lower league opposition. It's just the performance and the score.
Yeah.
You know, that's what does me. 4-0.
But look at this, right? Prior to Noble, even though when Noble, what was it when Noble came on? Was it 2-0?
I think so. Yeah.
But prior to when Noble came on, right? Where's the leadership on the pitch? Who's the leader? Who was even the captain?
Probably Zabaleta.
Zabba, yeah, it would have been Zabba.
Yeah.
This is the thing about with Zabba. Like, there is times when I see him, you know, he's up for it, he's giving it, right, and, you know, because he's experienced, he's won trophies, but there's times, like, I don't know, he just don't seem to exert himself, and he's not vocal, he's not communicating.
I don't think he's that type of...
Do you think it's being in and out of the side, though, that does it? Because there are times I see him putting his arm around people.
Yeah.
When
So
he's up
I think sometimes that don't help is when a player's not in the team all the time. But I don't know. I think like Ryan said it before. You have different types of captains, don't you?
Yeah.
And I just think at the moment we need a noble type of captain, a player that's gonna lead in his performances, tell someone they're shit when they're playing shit, but also put his arm around someone when they're like, you know, do you know what I mean? They need it, and
Because
you get that variety from Noble, and I don't think, you know, I don't know Zaba's personality, but he just, like you said, he doesn't seem to come across the same way.
But the thing is, I think maybe it is being out of the side. So I don't understand. I've seen him, you know, like get to Declan Rice and, you know, put his arm around him and G people up.
I like Zaba, and you've got no fear. You've got no fear when Zaba has to come. You've got no fear. You know he's going to give it his all. You know he's going to do what's best for the team, and he does that when he plays. You know, but just some of the other players tonight don't do that.
Yeah, and the thing is, look, once we go 1-0 down, that's the point when they say, right, we need to fucking respond. Like, that should be a wake up call, and they'll go, right, fucking hell, you tighten up there, you do that. This fucking.
The thing is, if we had been playing well up until they scored, and they scored against the run of play, you can see you wouldn't change things. But it took until 2-0 down, I think, until we actually started to look to change stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and you take off a young kid who's been playing well. As I said, he didn't have the best of games, but he was direct, he drove at them, he was causing problems. Yeah. He caused a lot more problems on his wing than Snodgrass did on that other wing.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the thing, like, we was quite, on that second half, we was on the back foot quite a lot.
Yeah.
They was piling on the pressure.
Yep.
And I suppose that's the one thing about Wilshere, right? Even though he didn't have the best of games today, but what he does do is he can slow the game down. He can win you free kicks and stuff like that and stop. And I think we kind of needed that because they was just coming at us. Like,
as I said, I don't get that substitution to take him off, move Snodgrass into the centre of midfield.
Yeah.
You know, and then to take, I'm sure he took Snoddy off later in the game.
Yeah. I think he did.
You know, it's a square peg round hole substitution.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it is disappointing, and that's just, like you say, it was just like before that game, right? I was on cloud nine. I was so proud of the team. You know, couldn't stop, you know, looking up at West Ham, seeing what all the pundits, everyone's saying about us. You know, started to put my chest out a bit. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I've got that feeling again.
Yeah.
And now it's just ruined it. It's absolutely ruined it. And I really want to see a response from those boys. I hope Mark Noble gets into them in the dressing room and says, right.
But you're not going to see a response from them, are you? You know what I mean? Them boys, half of them, 7 of them will be on the bench.
Well, that. But then the boys
Saturday.
that weren't playing, well, no, I mean, look, obviously, the subs will play, and some of them will play. But even the boys that weren't playing, right? Look, we need to fucking go and show what we're all about, and that's just don't represent this
and
team.
that's, as I said, that's going. You know, when you go back to you look at Balbuena didn't have the best game today. You know, and again, I think it's down to match time, match practice. It's just worrying that we're getting to a stage where we've got a good first 11, and yeah, we do have a strong bench, but if we get one or two key injuries in key areas, I really do fear for how the season's going to pan out.
I mean, the problem is we've already had two injuries in key, Lanzini and Antonio, already.
Yeah.
And look, that's nothing. Like, look, that's not an excuse of anything tonight. Them two being injured and out and all of that. But like I said, you have these two out, then you start picking up a few others. And
so I said it annoys me because we're sitting here talking about this, and it's a massive contrast to how the game was on Sunday.
Yeah, you only need to go back and look at post-match pint. It was all big smiles, good spirits, and
I said I'm a lot calmer than I was when we left Oxford.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, it's been a long time since then. We've stopped off, we've had something to eat, you know, we've uploaded all the fan cams, and it's just...
I am disgusted. When you just look at that 4-0, just 4-0, we couldn't even score.
No.
We didn't even really threaten. There was what? Who was it who had that shot? Wilshere? Where it was just
I can't remember the keeper actually making a save.
No,
I remember...
Was it Wilshere straight at him? Yeah.
But I don't remember him stretching for anything.
No, we didn't. And that is the thing, right? I do notice about us, right? Like, we don't really test keepers that much. Like, we don't really end up at the point where we're forcing saves and things like that.
Yeah.
It's like we're waiting for the perfect moment, perfect for the seas to part, the spotlight to come down and go, right, now's the time to shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, you have to be 100% sure it's a goal or don't shoot.
And that's we don't see that enough. We don't see enough. We've said it before in previous post-match points. We don't shoot enough.
No.
You know, it's something that needs to be sorted out. Something needs to be addressed. But
because you don't, like, say that shot. Look, with a Wilshere shot. You know, I was up with that because I thought, right, we've had a little go outside. You know, it was a bit of it's straight at the keeper. But if you start doing that more and more, you warm into it. Do you know what I mean? You go, right, okay, I'm going to adjust this. You know, say like with free kick where Creswell, he had the free kick, missed, and as soon as he got one, not that long later, he knew, right, this is what I'm going to do, push top corner.
Yeah.
You do that, if you keep having shot, you're going to find it eventually. You're going to try different things out. Right, maybe I'll try and put a bit
of... Does that work with Antonio shooting outside of the box?
No, like, he should never, ever. One day he's going to put he's the only one that says the exception. Never shoot outside the box, Antonio.
It's very frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating.
Yeah, it's you know, it's fucking completely killed the week. You know, I really would have been just happy looking forward to the rest of the week. You know, we've done well, and
I know, mate.
We could have just scraped to 1-0 or something, or
just put a performance in. I don't. If you get beat, at least get beat and say, you know what, we played really well, but credit to them, they soaked up all the pressure and got a goal.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It wasn't even like that. It was 0-0 at half time, we lose 4-0. The players are like, I don't care. I've still pocketed my 50 grand this week, I don't give a shit.
But the worst thing is, right, is like first half, I thought, you know, we weren't too bad. Like first half, it was just we didn't really fret in that final third. Like, but you know, we was going forward, we was moving the ball.
Yeah, you're right. The performance up to half time wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. You weren't going to sit there, we're going to lose this 4-0 now. Yeah. We just stopped. We just stopped doing what we was doing.
Yeah.
And they just raised their game. They got that goal in front. They smelt blood.
Yeah.
And then they took their opportunities every time one come up. You know, I'm sure, because we come out at 3-0, didn't we, to go and set up because everyone was leaving. And then the fourth went in, and I'm sure someone, when they come out, turned around and said, they could have had 5 or 6. You know,
and that's, I mean, that's something what we saw, like, you know, in seasons past at this stage.
You look at the performance tonight. That's a performance I expected last season.
Yeah. That's what would happen is we'd concede 1 and then 2 wouldn't be far behind. And once we concede 2, then 3, and it's just, do you know what I mean? Like, no fight back, no
And I thought this season we would show a bit more grit, show a bit more determination to get a goal when we went a goal behind, because the way we've been performing in the league, you know.
Look, one thing I want to address as well is I've seen a few comments on some of the fans as people saying, you know, Pellegrini out, Pellegrini's too old, he's dinosaur. Like, come on, you can't have a great run and all of a sudden, look, Pellegrini.
We've been embarrassed tonight.
Yeah, he has to take
we've
some
lost
criticism.
2 games, massively
Tonight.
Listen, I praised him. The substitution for Wilshere on Sunday, the timing of it perfect, right? Today he got it wrong.
Yeah.
And that is what being a manager is about. You pick the right side, the team wins, you get it right. You make your substitutions, you get them right. But there's games when you get it wrong and you have to turn around and say, do you know what? The players played badly, but I got it wrong. And I think tonight's one of them nights.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you can't, like, look, that's the second game we've lost this season. We can't be just changing the manager based on that. You know, it's embarrassing, it's unacceptable, all of that, but, like, come on. Like, we ain't going to get rid of a manager in September already based off of that.
Exactly.
Like, it's just one of them things. Look, it's horrible. But, like, I think we need to call all that talk. Like, no one was saying that in the past.
No one was saying that on Sunday.
No, exactly. No one was saying, oh, well, you know.
No one was saying that after 4 clean sheets on the spin, unbeaten. You know, what's that? Our first loss away from home.
Yeah.
Our first loss since the start of the season. And we go and turn over Bournemouth. This will all be forgotten.
Exactly. Like, the thing is, a manager's job can't hang on the next game.
No.
You know, whatever. Well, you know.
Of course not.
He's won the last game, but if we lose the next game, he's got to be out. Like I said, I think overall we've progressed. Overall.
If you look at the season so far, as much as tonight's bad and it's embarrassing, the season so far has been okay. You know, we're sitting top 6. Performances have been good. So we kept 4 clean sheets on the spin.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time we've done that?
Exactly. I can't even remember, mate.
We had the best start. Look, we've had the best start to the season. Before I can't even remember. Before, this is, you know, but a farewell bowling season.
Yeah.
So,
there's many seasons gone by when we get to this stage in the Cup, and this would probably be our only second win of the season. Yeah. You know, and the first win come in the other round of the League Cup. So, you know, it's
you know, we should. Well, of course, listen. If you have a bad performance, you should be allowed to criticise the manager. We can criticise the manager. Don't mean we want him out. He's got to, you know, and he'll probably hold his hands up. I haven't seen his interview, but I'm sure he'll hold his hands up.
Wait and see what comes out of it. It's just, let's just see how he responds.
Yeah.
And how the players respond on Saturday. But I'm just really disappointed that we didn't go for it. And
it's a trophy he's won as well, isn't it? So you think, you know, I don't know if people are like, I mean, do you think this thing about the ball don't want to win it? I don't know if that's a thing. Like,
the only reason anyone could not want to win this trophy is because they don't want to play in the Europa League. Because of the Europa League hoodoo that you see, Burnley suffered from it, Wolves are suffering from it, where you get into Europa League and you struggle because of the squad size and things like that. But surely from a board's perspective, they want us to win a trophy.
Well, yeah, like
they want us to play in Europe, you know.
If they listen, like whatever you think about the board, even if just their sheer ego of being the ones they board that brought, you know, silverware back to West Ham. So, no, literally, I just think it's a case of too many changes. Poor mentality of the players, think they were better than they were.
Yep.
Beating Man United's got even though, like you said, not the players, not every.
Yeah, I don't think beating United got into things. I just think
the run overall. You know, you get to that point where you get complacent and you think like,
I think there was a little bit of complacency tonight. I must admit, you know, and I don't know. You can't make excuses for them. And
no, there is no excuse.
No.
The thing is, like I say, you know, anyone can beat anyone on the night.
Yep.
Right? You think, okay, so but 4-0 is just unacceptable.
Yeah, it is. That's it. It's the result that's killing it.
Yeah.
As I said, we've been in the position before where we've got beat by lower league sides. You take it on the chin, you accept it. Sometimes you could beat a better side. You know, look at the Spurs game yesterday. 0-0 with Colchester, 75% possession. Go out on penalties. you know, you can turn around and say that, you know, again, you had the ball that time and he didn't do nothing with it. We didn't have the ball that amount of time. I know, what was it? We had 67% possession, but what did we do with it? Nothing.
I'll tell you another worrying thing, right? I'm trying to remember, right? I'm pretty sure every game that we've played this season, that we've won or drawn, we scored first. Is that right? Watford, we went 1-0 up. Brighton, we went 1-0 up.
Yeah.
Obviously, Man U, we obviously kept a clean sheet. So we've never.
I think you're right. We haven't.
Yeah. So this is the worrying thing: is if that we've still got that thing inside us where we go a goal down first. So if we concede first, we're not going to win. Like, we haven't got that ability to come back, because I see that last season a lot. Yeah. You know, we had that thing of once we went behind, that was it. Game done. Yeah. Obviously, like, you look, Man City, we go a goal down, it ends up being 5.
Tonight we go a goal down, it ends up being 4. Yeah.
So that's the worrying thing.
Yeah, of course
that
it is.
If we concede first, it's going to be that thing, and we ain't got that mentality to go like we did when we, you know, in that last season at Upspot under Slav, when it was just like we never knew where we would beat. The amount of times we came from behind. I want to see that, because you think, you know, like, it's just one like that. Wake up, let's go for it.
Let's get going now. Yeah, exactly. That's a wake up call. Let's press on. Yeah. Go and get the equaliser. But
that's the test. I'm really going to be interested to see actually next time.
The game Saturday is going to be a very, very tough game. Bournemouth are going to be well up for this one. They lost tonight as well. You know, they're out of the cup, but you know, they rested players.
Yeah, and I bet they didn't lose 4-0.
No. 2-0, wasn't it? Was it 2-0?
2-0, something like that.
You know, but they're going to be up for it. This is going to be our toughest fixture since the City game, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're flying at the minute, Bournemouth. And
they usually do well early season.
Yeah, we don't do well there.
No.
You know, so it's going to be a tricky one. We'll wait and see the aftermath of this player-wise, but...
Do you just go and start the same team that started against
United? Yeah, without fail. You don't change that team. That team performed well. Masuaku sits on the bench, said he didn't cover himself in glory tonight. Creswell had an absolute blinder against United, so for me he starts. You know, Ogbonna comes straight back in for Balbuena. Roberto didn't do much wrong. I know Nicky turned around on the live chat and said he's useless. He kept the score down today, in my opinion. I know he made that mistake where it was going out for a goal kick and he ended up kicking it out for a corner or something like that. We'd just come back from half time at that point. But, you know, he's a bit unfair criticism for him, I think. But said Fabianski going back in goal, Rice coming straight back in, Noble, Anderson, Yarmolenko, Hele, you can't.
Thankfully, there's quite a few of them players that are untarnished by tonight. Do you know what I mean? Like that. So
it's just whether he'll probably go with 4 nows again, but it's just worrying. He played a full 90, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
I said there's something there, but I think there's still a few weaknesses that present himself, and I think he does need that time to adapt.
We know we saw the quality he's got in the under 21 tournament in the summer. Like you said, you can see it there. He's got it there. It's just getting him adapted to the Premier League quicker, and that'll only come the more games he plays. So
Pellegrini's sort of got to see that though, where he does sort of dawdle on the ball sometimes.
But that may be why he's played tonight, to toughen him up a bit, to get him. You know, that's why we said Diagana out on loan, to give him game time, to make him a stronger player. Yeah. You know, and that seems to be working well at West Brom for him. So, you know, I'm sure he'll come in and give it his all, and then we've got Wilshere to come off the bench. But it's just you know, one of them things, mate. It's 10 to 1 in the morning, and we've just got to allow it.
You're back in your manor.
Yeah.
So you'll be going to bed.
Straight to bed, up again in 3 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Things we do for West Ham, eh?
3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. See, I'm so tired I can't even count.
Things we do for West Ham, and that's how they repay us.
Mate. Massive thanks to Mike for driving as well.
Yes, Mike. 5 stars on the Uber rating for Mike. Top guy. He's got a load of Krispy Kremes as his reward. 3 Krispy Kremes.
The only thing to smile about all night is this.
He's got 3 Krispy Kremes.
Mate.
They're not sponsored. There are other brands of donuts available.
Yeah, these are just really nice.
So if you ain't already, check out all the fan cams and leave
Some
a
really
comment.
good ones tonight, I thought.
Yeah.
You know, it was good having the guy. Ollie was his name.
Yep,
Nice,
new guy,
fresh face.
lives in Oxford, poor
Yeah.
bastard. He's
He was
by him.
West Ham fan sitting in the Oxford end, so he had to suffer.
Oh man.
But no, it was good fan cams. I think everyone in
was
their
spot
points
on.
were bang on. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we all
can't
felt the
disagree
same
with
coming
anyone.
out of there. I said I just think we've had a lot longer before we come on camera to sit there and digest the result and sort of calm down a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
but
So yeah, do leave your comments below. Let us know your thoughts and back again for all the content for the Bournemouth game. So
I'll be back later today.
He'll be back later.
Preview.
When's your preview out? Come on, Scott.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Might as well just tag it on the end of this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've basically gone through the starting lineup for everything at the end of this one. But yeah, no, that'll be. I'll get that done tonight. Once I've had some sleep.
Yeah.
Go from there.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Do check out on all the social medias. And one thing left to say, mate.
Come on, you eyes.